All right.
Guys, I have Kesha with me. Okay, she is been our client for last 6 to 7 months now, and
Mhm.
she is very happy with us because she is killing it right now with her business. And if I have to give you some kind of numbers, like what kind of number she's achieving right now, she has done well over more than 100 grand so far just by working with us. And right now, on an average, she is making anywhere between 10 to 12,000 a month consistently. Okay. So, boss, how are you? How's the day so far?
I'm doing well, Harshal. How are you? Thank you for
Yeah, yeah.
asking. And, I'm excited that this is my turn. I get to turn and have one of these videos with you. So I'm definitely happy about that.
Let's go. Let's go. I know you're very excited about this.
Yeah.
So tell the audience, back then, like what you used to do, because I still remember, like, when we had like our first call, five,
Mhm.
6 months ago, you said like you were doing like, real estate, like, you are a realtor. Like, are you still a realtor?
Yes, I still do real estate as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I do real estate primarily in the state of Georgia now. So
Nice.
basically, I have a lot of clients in my program that are trying to purchase homes here in Georgia. So when I'm done with them in this side of things, they'll be purchasing a home with me next. So that's definitely a plus. So of course, I still have a
Yeah, yeah.
license to sell homes as well.
Yeah, so I'm curious. Okay, so what made you start into credit repair like business in the first place? Like, you were doing good with the real estate. I know, like, what kind of numbers you were doing back then.
Yeah. Well,
So
I decided to get into credit repair because I'm also a licensed realtor in the state of Texas. So
mm,
in Texas, I was getting quite a bit of leads and clients that I was working with, but majority of those people were having credit issues.
mm,
So, even though I had all the other resources, I couldn't get them approved because of the credit. So, when I started seeing this was happening too many times, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I was talking to, friends and family and like, you're already in that industry. You need to get into the credit repair. So I said, okay. So I did my research, looked into it, and basically just took off from there, did everything I found. It's a company called Credit Repair Cloud. So
yeah.
basically I worked with them and pretty much, took the knowledge I gained from that and just
Mm.
met you and took off.
Yeah, like, do you remember like how we met, like back then?
Um, yes, I do. Actually, from me being in the Credit Repair Cloud program,
Mm,
there was a group that I was a
yeah.
part of, and I would see, people asking like, how do people scale, who they're using for marketing, and you kept popping up like constantly. People were like, Harshal, Harshal, Harshal. I'm like, okay, let me see who this Harshal person is. So I basically reached out to one person and asked them, do you know like more information on you so I could get in touch with you? So they provided that, and then I was able to message you and start connecting with you so that way I can start to actually get marketing done the right way because I was struggling in that department before I met you.
Mm,
I really was.
mm. So like back then, when we like even like haven't even like started working, like what kind of revenue were you doing back then?
Ooh, Herschel, that's embarrassing. I wasn't even doing $1,000 a month. It was bad. Like I was struggling. I couldn't even close 3 deals a week. So it was really, really bad. And it was
Mm,
becoming to the point where I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I can't handle this because, we all want to start a business and start making money, lots of money
mm.
right away.
Yeah.
But right before, and I know you and I were in communication a lot,
True.
and when I met you, you gave me advice, and then when you mentioned Rob, oh my gosh, that's when everything went to a much better direction. So between
Yeah.
you and Rob, you guys saved my business because I was on the verge of just like closing that and being done with it and just going straight back
Yeah.
into the real estate business because it
Yeah.
was a it's a tough industry if you don't have the right team, the right people helping you scale, and that's
Yeah.
what I was dealing with. I was having the hard time scaling, not so much getting like people that will refer because everybody was
Mm,
referring real estate customers, but they were
mm.
not all qualified. So I needed you and Rob in order to still be here right now because if it wasn't for
Yeah.
you, this wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be able to be saying the things that I'm saying right now because it was very discouraging before I met you guys. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. How many like client acquisition channels do you have right now? Like,
Well, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Facebook. Sometimes I dibble and dabble on YouTube, but
hmm,
for the most part, I use like pretty much TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram for
gotcha,
everything that I'm doing as far as like
gotcha.
video content. Yep.
Yeah, like I would also like, highly recommend for most of the people who are watching this is like, try to have your organic presence on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. Okay. And you can absolutely run ads on like, Instagram and Facebook, of
Right.
course. I don't think like, Facebook specifically, I would say like, Instagram is very good for running ads,
Right.
and Facebook could also be utilized for like
Now I
organic.
will say this too, Harshal, since I have ads running, and
Mhm.
then have a lot of videos, content that I'm always doing on a daily
True.
basis. So I've getting a lot of like organic people that will go straight to my booking link and
That's
just
what's
book a
up.
topic from there as well. So with
Yeah.
whatever you guys are doing, mixed with what I'm doing,
Yeah.
it's like bringing that traffic. So, and that's
Yeah.
a good thing too, because a lot of people don't, they want to go to your page and see that you are still
True.
relevant. You're still staying
True.
consistent with what you're doing. So, I've continued to do that, and a lot of people have booked calls with
Yeah.
me on a regular
And
basis.
I really like the attitude that you have. It's like, like whenever we ask you for a video, like for the video ad, it's bam, like next day we
Mhm.
have the video, like straight
Right,
up. You
right,
literally like, gets it done anytime we ask anything for, like
right,
anything.
exactly.
So it's like, action takers are always money makers. Like whoever like, takes most amount of action, they always win in life, in business. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter, like you're kind of that, that boss lady that, that there's a
Hmm.
phrase,
Yes,
where like
definitely. And that's why when you guys ask, hey, can you get another video done? I do it because I know that that's going to help me stay growing, right? So,
that's
and
true.
again, without you guys' information and knowledge that you provide, it would be hard for me to be able to continue because even doing organic, content, you still want to have something that's going to
Yeah.
reach either to
Yeah.
more people. And see,
Yeah.
I don't want to be limited in just the area that I'm in. I want to be nationwide. So whenever
Yeah.
you say, hey, we need a new content, I'm on it. You
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
I'm on
because like, when it comes to marketing, let's say on Instagram or Facebook, doesn't matter the platform.
it.
It's like whenever you're trying to run any kind of ads on both the platform, it directly correlates on the organic stuff that you're putting it out there. It's like the video that you are putting it out there in terms of running ads, okay, it's going to grab their attention, and your
Mhm.
page layout that you already have, it's going to keep their attention, you know.
Exactly. And then
So
I must be somewhere on Google because my son came home one day. He's like, Mom, my friend saw you on Google. I'm like, huh? They're like, yeah, we seen your credit repair video. I'm like, wow, well, at least I know it's reaching. And even, my
yeah,
daughter, her teacher is like, oh, I seen your mom on social media doing, content.
yeah,
So
crazy,
it's
right?
doing its own thing, but that's why the consistency is very important with
Yeah,
any type of business. The consistency will make a
that's
difference.
true. That's true,
Yep,
because if you remember, like in your first like 2-3 months, like you were struggling very much, you
I
know.
was. I really was.
Crazy, right?
You introduced me to the person that I needed to be connected with, and that was
Yeah.
Rob. You
Yeah.
told me get on the phone with that man, and I did exactly what you said. That's when everything went from down to just struck up quick. So I appreciate you for at least sharing that
Thank
information
you.
with me and
Yeah,
him for consistently trying to make sure that we scale. We keep doing
absolutely.
better than the average. So that's something
Yeah.
that I'm gonna forever be grateful for because again, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to still be running. I have a team. It's not
Yeah.
just me anymore. I have people working with me. So it's like it's constantly growing and I can see the improvements just from, getting up and doing everything that I'm supposed to do on my end. And even
Yeah.
still gives me, insight and different pointers and tips. And, I'm a constructive criticism person. I don't mind taking that because that's what's going to help me become better, right? So
True.
I just like all the information that you guys always provide. And whenever I need a question answered between you and him, you guys come through for me all the time. So I appreciate that.
We will absolutely, even on weekends, doesn't matter. Like, we are
Right.
always there for our people. As long as we are not sleeping, we are always communicating with our clients to make sure that, everything is solved as soon as possible, you know.
Yes.
So that's my another question. So how's your experience working with us so far?
Oh, I love the experience. The experience is immaculate. As far as like the information you give, the content you tell us that we need to focus on doing, like anytime, everything. It's just been wonderful. Like between you and Summit, I mean, it's just been nothing but just
Yeah.
pure success. Even when I'm like, hey, Harshal, can you give me some more leads? You're like, yeah, up that ad spend. And I'm like, okay, you say, like, because you're the expert, right? So
Yeah.
this is what you do. You bring us the leads. And when those leads come, they come. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
constant and it's, my appointment center is like, man, it's really busy. And I'm like, that's what we want. So it's been a really, really great experience with you guys. I have not had any time that I've been working with you all where it was just any doubt. I've known from
Yeah.
day one, you guys were the people I need to be working with. So
Thank you.
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
anybody that needs a marketing team, Harshal and his
Let's
team
go.
is people to go with because I'm telling you, you guys will see results fast.
Yes.
It's not gonna take forever to get there. So
Yeah.
that's the blessing of had finding you, like seriously.
Yeah, like this is what I figured out, in the past, like, over of like, half a decade of experience, what we have
Mm-hmm.
figured out is like running advertisements are a cheat code to success, you know, because
Exactly.
like let's say like even if you are doing like organic marketing as consistent as you could, I don't think like it would have like scaled like 2 3 years,
Right.
or like it would have taken like hell lot time, like 4 years 5 years, and most
Mm-hmm.
people even give up on that, like even if you stay consistent by running ads just for like 5 to 6 months, I'm pretty sure like you guys have no idea like the amount of money you can make, like
Right.
it's like
Definitely.
crazy,
Yeah,
like
definitely. Because, like I said earlier, mixed with what you guys do, and then with the consistency of me doing content, it's a no
yeah.
brainer. Like, those ads are reaching. I have friends that in other cities, like, hey, I just saw your ad, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I know it's reaching everybody. Like,
Yeah,
so that's the great thing about it. And I've never had an issue with any ads you've ran. No issue with them ever getting approved. Like, that's one big
that's
thing that I
tell,
couldn't
tell
do.
people, tell people, tell the
Yeah, I didn't.
audience.
I was like, look, when people are like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, look, I have a team. He takes care of that. All I do is provide the content, and he gets it up for me. So
Yeah,
that is 100% important. Because organic reach, like you said, is good, but it's not going to reach as many
yeah,
people as when you're paying for that additional,
yeah,
eyes to see that content. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's something that you guys definitely have helped me in, like serious
yeah,
a lot. Like
yeah,
just to know that even at night when I'm sleeping, I wake up, I'm like, man, I got 30 messages here. Like that's amazing. Like I'm like, whoa, I haven't even been able to eat breakfast yet, but I'm gonna get on top of these messages. So that's the things that I look for and I appreciate because who wants to have a business with no clients, no leads, right? So in order
yeah,
to keep that business, you need the people there. So a lot of people end up in our inbox from the ad that as
yeah,
based on
yeah.
you guys.
So like in any business, it doesn't matter if it's a credit repair or any other business. Like if you don't have your pipeline full of leads coming in, like you are not going to survive at all,
Right. You're
you
right.
know?
You're absolutely right. Even I
Yeah,
make my team. We don't just sit down and only rely on just the new leads. I mean,
mm-hmm.
me and my team, we go back months
Yeah,
ago and work those old leads too. And
yeah,
we're lucky to even get a few of those every time we do that. So,
yeah,
and they remember, like there's people that would have reached out to me 2 months ago, 3 months ago. They didn't do anything then, but that ad or my ads, you guys they keep seeing me and they're like, I keep seeing you pop up on my timeline. That means I'm supposed to have call you. And then that's how another way that we get new business because people tell me all the time, yeah, I see you all the time on my timeline. Your ads always there. You look like you're honest. You look like you know what you're talking about. I had to reach out to you. So I'm like, hey man, that's my team. My marketing team say, hey, this is what I have to do to make sure people like you can reach us. So it's
Yeah,
definitely necessary to have paid ads. You cannot scale your business without those paid ads. It
that's
does
true.
make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like, like spend money to get money.
You got to.
Put X amount of dollars and you'll get like, 2x, 3x amount of dollars back. Like
Yep.
even in your case, like, let's try to break down like, those numbers. Okay. So right now, I think we are doing $80 a day in ad spend or
I'm doing $100 a day in ads.
$100 a day. Yeah. So right now you're doing $100 a day, like 100 into 30, it's like 3 grand in like, ad spend, and you're doing consistent 12 grand in revenue. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the return? Nobody can do that. Like,
Exactly.
no one can do it. Okay. So not even stock market, not even Bitcoin, crypto, anything. Like nobody can ever like, bid that kind of like, return on investment.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
crazy.
And me with and I'm always constantly, whatever profit, I'm always reinvesting into
Yeah.
the
Long
marketing
term.
because you
Long
need
term.
that. If you don't have the market, you're making the money, but you're not constantly marketing yourself, then you're not
Yeah.
growing. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
and that return on investment does make a big difference. And I always
Yeah.
put back into the company so that way we
True.
keep
So
scaling
true.
and growing, because we
Yeah.
try to be a big company one day. We don't want
Yeah.
to be a small business
I'm
forever. We want to
I'm
be
I'm
large
s-
one day.
I'm so glad that you brought this point. I
Mm-hmm.
feel most of the credit repair business out there, like, what they're really trying to do is like, as soon as they make some profits, they just try to enjoy their life by like, buying something like expensive. I feel you're right, like, trying to reinvest your business and trying to believe in yourself that, this company would someday, like, it will go somewhere out there. It's going to make some kind of difference in the industry. That's what like they need to think about. I
Exactly.
figured like like most of the people like they literally say that I can't afford this XYZ, even though I'm pretty sure this, like we charge like pennies and knuckles. But still I see their story, like they have a LV shoes, LV bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Crazy, right?
You have to think like a billionaire. You want to become
Yeah,
to that level, like Warren Buffett and all these other, people that's got these
yeah,
billions and trillions of dollars. They didn't take everything
yeah,
they make and go, splurge. They save
yeah.
money, reinvest into their business because at
True.
the end of the day, when you spend that extra money on your business, it's going to take you there. And then when you get there, now you can do a little bit
Yeah,
of searching. But
yeah, yeah,
I'm all about
yeah.
reinvesting into my business because I want to
Because
grow.
yeah, because you believe in yourself.
Right.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like
You
if
have,
somebody like believes in themselves, they are
yep.
always gonna like reinvest in their business. Okay. And I'll share some secret. Okay. So literally I think 3-4 years ago, I have never shared this with anyone, like we already
Mm-hmm.
operate on the thin margins, but literally
Mm-hmm.
like 3 to 4 months ago, we literally got into this like business in green. Like
Okay.
back then it was still red, like we were losing money, everything. Like for the like past like 3-4 years, like we were always like we believed in ourselves, we believed in our community. Like
You have to.
we know that it's gonna make a huge significant difference, although like we don't take much out of the business, but still like we are doing amazing now. And
Awesome.
yeah, I think like the point that you brought in is like always trying to reinvest in your business, is because whenever you try to believe in yourself, you are always going to take humongous amount of risk, you know
Exactly. And I'm a
and
risk taker. No, I've never been scared. See, I come from an entrepreneur background. My father
yeah,
owned a business. So I've grown up to see you can't be scared talking about you want to be a business owner. You can scare money, don't make no money. So
money, true.
always very big on, if it sounds right, it's gonna
Mm.
make me more money, I'm gonna do it, and
It's
that's just how I am. Because
yeah,
you can't be afraid to, if you're making the money but you're sitting on it, you're not doing anything with it
yeah,
that's gonna help you scale, then you're
mm,
still losing, right? But if you
yeah,
take I've taken risk. I've invested in other sources and other things, but
yeah,
realize that, hey, that didn't work. Now I know what to put more money into that
yeah,
will work. So that's how business work. You have to make money. In order to make more money, you have to invest that money because that's the
yeah,
only way, you're gonna start seeing more than what you want, and that's
Yeah.
just how I believe that for sure.
Yeah. I also wanted to, bring this point. Okay. So imagine this way. Okay. So I see like, there was a guy who has like a, like, expensive, like, $1,500, $2,000 bag. Okay. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure that's only going to impress the people who cannot afford it, or like, who are broke.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So imagine this way, like, if that particular guy have invested, let's say like $1,000 or like $100 a day or like whatever amount in terms of ad spend, like,
Hmm. That would make
it's going to make him like a humongous amount of returns compared to like, just spending for something that's not going to like, make him anything at all.
exactly. So that's
You
you
know?
gotta think big. If you think small, you'll make,
Yeah.
you won't make smart decisions. But when you think big, you'll rethink certain things that you
Yeah.
do need and you don't need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I've always been. Like, and that's why I've been able to not just scale, but maintain, be able to
Yeah.
not have to scrape and struggle. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you don't do this business right, you can end
Yeah.
up in that position. But
True.
with discipline, reinvesting, and having the right people, in your corner, like you guys,
Yeah.
then that's where you're gonna see the difference. And it's very
Yeah.
important to understand that because everybody wants to make a lot of money, but nobody wants to put the effort into getting there.
Effort. Yeah.
It's
Right.
consistent. You got to be consistent. It
Yeah.
doesn't overnight, that's for sure. But the more consistency you're doing, you're gonna get there, and that's just
Yeah.
something that I've been very grateful for. Like you guys don't understand. Even in this economy, like this economy right now, everybody is scraping. A lot of people don't have
Yeah.
money, but
Money.
who doesn't need credit? Everyone needs
Yeah.
credit. So this
True.
is what I call a recession-proof business. And
It
and I
is.
love the fact that no matter what type of economy we're in, people are always going to need their credit fixed. So
Yeah.
I love the fact that, I took the opportunity to even start this up because I enjoy helping people, right? I'm not a
True.
person to take from people. I like to help people because I feel like when you help people, then you have more blessings coming into you,
Hmm.
right? So
I agree.
everybody thinks the blessings come from financial. No, it's how you really treat people. When you
Mm.
show people you're genuinely trying to help them change their life, we've had
Yeah.
so many referrals just from people talking to me. They're like, man, I really like your energy. I like how you're talking. You sound like you know what you're talking about. And just from those type of conversations, we've had lots and lots of referrals. So, it's all again how you are, how you treat people, how serious you take your business, because all of those things will come back on you, right? So
True.
that's just, that's how I'm very big on stuff like that. So,
Yeah. 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 I
and
agree.
again, I can't stress like how exciting it was to meet you and
Yeah.
Rob because you and Rob, man, y'all really did do a 360 for me. I can't speak for other people, but for me,
Yeah.
you changed my life because
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be in Georgia right now if it wasn't
Yeah.
for you guys.
Crazy,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, most definitely. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how much like do you, I'm very curious, like how much do you like charge for your services right now?
Well, for me, I have packages that start at 1,200. Some clients I may, depending on, how I
Mm.
feel, I may go down to 1,000, but I'm not going under that. And then
Mm.
my highest packages is about 1,600.
Nice.
Just because, depending on how much we have to do, then it gets a little bit more, but I don't go under $1,000 is my lowest package.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And like, do you try to break down in the payments
Yes,
or?
I do have a payment plan.
Mm.
And I usually, give people options that depending on how they work, how their pay schedule is. And I pretty much give them an option to, make their payment every time they get paid because it's only going to
Mm.
make sense. Like if they pick a day or if we get them on a schedule where they're not making, they're not getting payroll, then they're going to forget our payment and then we got to call them and, keep collecting that payment from them. So yes, we have a payment plan. Some people pay in full, but anybody that needs the payment plan. And with us, we don't ask for the whole amount to be paid before we start working. As
Mm.
long as you invest something in the beginning of the program, then
Yeah.
we get started on the credit right away. So
Mm.
as time progresses, clients are consistently making those payments and they like that about us because A lot of clients will ask, oh, will I have to pay off my balance before you start working? Absolutely not. Just give us something down and we're gonna get on
Yeah.
it right away.
I'm curious, like how much is the minimum that you would charge?
Typically I would like to take at least 250 down.
Nice.
Just to
Nice.
kind of give people opportunity to know, hey, we're
Yeah.
still trying to work with you. We don't want to break
Yeah.
your pockets. We want you to, we know you have other bills and other obligations.
Yeah.
So we at least would like to see people put down 250 minimum. And we've
Mm.
been blessed to have people put down double that, triple that.
Mm.
But for people to see, hey, I get all this and all I have to do is put down 250, why
Mm.
not? People really appreciate the stuff
Mm.
that they're with us because we not here to just fix their credit. We here to change their life. And then a
Lives.
lot of
Yeah.
those people, when they're done, they're ready to buy homes. So I have those people lined up next. And I've always had people even refer business to me for as a realtor because they just
Yeah.
love how we operate as a company here at Credit
Mm.
Magnet. We treat those people. So even
Yeah.
really even refer clients for real estate, even if they may
That's
not need
true.
credit,
Mm.
repair. They're like, hey, call her. She's good. Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So what's your sales process like right now? Let's say, like, I saw your ad, okay, on Instagram or Facebook. I think we are only doing it on Instagram. So let's say, like, we saw your ad on Instagram and I clicked on send message. After that, I reached out. So how would after that, like, our sales process would be?
So pretty much, once send us a message and we start communicating with you inbox. My appointment setter is the one that handles all of the leads. So I have
Nice.
her. She's communicating with all the leads. She's, getting responses back, and she's booking all of my appointments. So
Nice.
those leads don't speak to me until she gets them pre-qualified. She's my pre-qualifier. She makes sure everything is necessary, is needed
Mm.
before they talk to me. Because
Mm.
as the credit repair specialist, I want them to be ready when I get them on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So they go through her. She qualifies them,
Mm.
have them sign up for the credit monitoring because we do use either my free score now or we
Mm.
use credit, and either one they'll sign up, and then once they've done that step, then I will reach out to them within 24 hours. I will call.
Gotcha. Like, what kind of question, like, is she asking? Like, if you don't mind.
Well, we pretty much like to ask, like kind of seeing what their interest is, like what is their
Mm.
goal for repairing their credit. If they have a specific time frame, have they been
Mm.
saving towards that goal? We want to know, like, if they have any, what type of like how many collections and charge offs they may have, if they
Mm.
have late payments on open accounts and things of that
Mm.
nature. So we want to know, like, pretty much a general information of what their situation is and
Mm.
what are they expecting to get from us. So
Mm.
basically, just based off those questions, we want to get them on the phone right away.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. I think we went way too deep on all the conversation that we had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to learn lot of stuff.
They will, especially talking to me because, again, when people are paying for something, I want them to feel like it is worth it, right? I don't want my clients to feel like, oh, I paid all this money. I could have went and go pay $300
Mm.
and got no. I want my clients to know this is luxury service here. We're going above and beyond for you guys. We're not just doing bare minimum. We're going
Yeah.
that extra mile for our clients. And a lot of our clients, they can appreciate it. And see, they
Yeah.
still communicate with me. Even though we're growing, everybody's like, I want to talk to Keisha. I want to talk to Keisha. And it's like, hey, to let them know as soon as I'm done with my consultations, I will reach out to them. So,
Mm.
it's of that nature that people they look for that.
Yeah.
They like that intimate relationship we give to every
Yeah.
client. And when we do our updates, we don't send out a text message in the email. We call every single month. And clients have just off of us doing that, they're like, man, this is amazing to hear from you
Mm.
guys every month. So we have a lot of things in place that make us stand ourselves
Mm.
apart from everybody else online. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's something that I can say. Our clients, they can vouch for us. They love us. They love how we do things. They love the amount of effort we put in. We send out thank you cards to them. We send out appreciation cards. We give them emails. Just, we check in as ask every, outside of their updates. How, twice a month outside of that, we're calling them. Hey, you got questions, concerns. So we want them to know you don't just join our program and you don't hear nothing. We stay in communication with those people
Above and beyond.
above and beyond all the time. We do not shortchange our clients. Every client get the exact treatment.
Same thing. Same thing.
Same thing.
I agree. I'm curious to know your answer because I've asked this question to so many of our clients. Why do you think most credit repair business don't succeed?
Well, for one, I believe a lot of credit repair businesses don't succeed because of the lack of knowledge. You still have to continue to learn in this industry. You can't think you know it all because there's something new you're going to learn every
Hmm.
day. Plus, you have to be disciplined. You have to understand that this is not going to be something that's going to jump off overnight. You have
Hmm.
to still put in your work. You have to, even though you guys running our ads, even
Hmm.
though we have Rob as our coach, we still have to do the work, right?
Hmm.
Because you can provide all the resources, you could lead us to the water, but you can't make us drink. So you have to put the work in. You have to stay consistent. You have to invest in your business, right? Because if you feel like you're only putting in the bare minimum, you're only investing a little bit, you're not going to get to that millions. If you
Yeah.
think you'll go big, but you have the consistency has to be there.
Hmm.
Patience, you know what I mean? You have to have some patience and just continue to learn the industry because like any other business, credit repair changes every day. You're learning something
Yeah.
different every day. Laws are changing on credit, so you have to keep
Yeah.
up with things like that. So
Yeah.
people get discouraged very easily if they don't
Hmm.
see the ROI too quick. They want to just throw in the towel. You don't you
Yeah.
give it time. It's not gonna be something that you blink your eye and then you're making all this.
Yeah.
You gotta put the work in. That's gonna be
That's
very important.
true. That's
Consistency.
true. Yeah.
Yep,
It's like, people are trying to get rich quick.
they are. And you can't do that in a legitimate business. Maybe in a team, yes, but in legitimate business, no. You gotta
You
put the
can't.
work in. You
Yeah.
gotta invest. You gotta show, you gotta show your face, make sure people know you're real.
Hmm.
Those are all you have to have. People have to trust you. You're talking about people providing all of their personal information to you. So they want to know, can I trust this person or these people with all of my private business, right?
Hmm.
So when you put yourself out there so people can know you're not hiding anything, it's gonna come.
Hmm.
The flow will come. So that's something that's important as well in any business.
Yeah.
You have to understand that it takes work. It's not a,
That's
it's
true.
not it's not something you can throw a couple dollars in and say, hey, it's gonna go grow overnight. No, you got to still put the work in. You still have
Yeah.
to, stay productive and just continuously keep going. Don't give up for sure.
Yeah. 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 Guys, before you ever buy that Gucci bag, think about it. Invest in
Think
marketing.
about it. Now, hey, when your business is making what 15, 25,
Yeah.
30,000 a month, now you could
Yeah.
go buy that
Do it.
Gucci bag. But in the
I
beginning,
agree. I
you
agree.
want to keep
You know,
reinvesting,
that's
reinvesting.
true.
That's the
That's
only
true.
way you're gonna grow.
I'm not saying I'm not against anyone, just so you guys know. You
Yep.
can do it, absolutely. But at least in your beginning, phase, you definitely need to invest and reinvest back again and again until you make minimum 15 to 20 grand. After that, you
Yep.
can just do whatever the hell you want, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. See, and like I said, with me, when I first started out, I didn't take everything that was making. I didn't go splurge. I didn't go
Mm,
shopping. I kept reinvesting. And then, speaking with Rob, hey, you need to get a team. Start looking into hiring different people to help you do these things. And when
mm,
I say that made a difference, it takes so much load off of you as the owner of the company, where
that's
now
true.
you can focus on other areas to grow that company. So that's something that I was like, wait a minute. When I saw how much time it gave me, I was like, man, I got to keep putting content. I got to get on top of this content.
Yeah.
When the people see the content, and then you don't want to put content out there that's kind of like it's not realistic.
Mm,
All the fancy cars and the big
mm,
houses and the jewelry, that's not realistic. People want to see that you're educating them. They want the
true.
knowledge. So when people see that you're giving knowledge, that's what's going to draw them in, right?
True.
So, and I have a lot of people that reach out to me. They're like, yeah, I see you're on your page. You don't have all that stuff on there. You're actually
Mm,
talking to people, telling us how to maintain these things or what we need to do. And that's what I'm big on, because once
yeah.
you educate people on how to maintain their credit, a lot of times they're not going to end up back in the same position,
Mm,
right? So that's our big thing in our program. We're not just here to just collect your money. We want to teach you how to not
mm,
be in this position again. And
mm.
people will appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah. Makes sense, boss.
Yeah.
So, I'm just curious, like, what's your conversion ratio right now?
Well, my
If you
conversion
think,
ratio, I would say it's about 85%. It's pretty good. Um,
nice.
I've I've been booking at least closing at least 3 to 5 appointments a week. So that's pretty good. And that's just
That's,
because, I get overwhelmed. I
mm,
have more than that booked for the week, but because it's just me right now,
yeah.
maybe doing all the sales, I kind of just take on what I can, but
Mm,
at least I don't do anything under, if it has to be at least 3 appointments at
mm,
least a week. So that's pretty much, minimum what I'm doing.
makes
And
sense.
anything over that, and there's been days where I'm doing 3 appointments a day. So, it just depends on how many people I'm talking to, how I feel, and things of that nature. But I'm so driven that, hey, if I have those three, I'm going to make sure I talk to those three. And I'm telling my
Yeah.
appointment setter, I'm talking to those three, get me three more for tomorrow. So, I want to make sure I stay on top of that because, again, those leads, they're still warm. You want to get to them
Yeah.
as quickly as you can, right? Because they have
Speed to
time to
lead.
look. Yeah, they're going to have time to keep looking if you don't show interest and you want
Mm,
their business right away. So that's something
true.
that I
That's
make sure
true.
I stay on top of. So at least 3 to 5 clients a week.
That's true. One last question. Okay. What would you recommend to someone who is on the fence to work with us?
Well, for one, I would say there's no reason to have a fence up. They need to call you right now. As soon as they see this video, they need to be like, I need to talk to Harshal because one thing I can say, there you guys did a 360. Like again, I can't stress that enough. How
Thank you.
working with you and your team has really changed my business, like seriously. And even with the communication you guys give, you check in on a regular. It's not every once in a while. It's consistent. So just off that alone, I appreciate that. And I love that. And anybody that's considering hiring a marketing team, they don't need to look any further. They need to call you. You and that's it. Only Harshal. He's gonna get it done. And those leads, your inbox is gonna constantly be loaded with new leads. You'll be like, wait a minute, slow down, Harshal. I gotta take time to respond to these people. So I mean, it's a no brainer. They need to call you. They don't need to look any further. They need to call you. They need to get on to do whatever they got to do to get in that program because it is worth every penny. It is.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, look, even Kesha is saying this. So if you're interested in getting more leads, go ahead in my description box below and you will see my scheduling link. You can schedule a call. Me or one of my team member would basically take a call with you. And if you are interested in, seeing more like this, okay, so I'm again like, going to interview Kesha once she, cross like 25, 30 grand, like, what have changed and things like that. So we always do that. So if you're interested in watching that future video, go ahead and subscribe right now so you can also watch like some more of the videos in the future. So yeah, guys, do you want to add anything yet?
Actually, no, I feel like, hey, like again, like I said, you and Rob, the credit guy,
Let's go.
there's nothing to talk about. Call both of them, get in
Yeah.
that program, get started right away. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your business before you
Yeah,
know it. It's
I
not gonna
agree.
take 12 years, 2 years. It's gonna happen sooner than they think.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
no brainer. And I
yeah.
appreciate you guys so much for everything you've done.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the communication. I
Thank you.
appreciate the check-ins. I appreciate, just the information that you guys provide. So that's
Thank you.
something I'm grateful for in helping me learn how to scale my business because I didn't know how to do this before I met you guys. You guys had to help me understand what needed to be done to get to where I am and where I'm going to go. So anybody that's just that's interested or thinking about it, stop thinking, call Harshal,
Do it.
call. There's your
Yeah.
answer to the problem.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. I
very
really
welcome.
appreciate you. And yeah, I'm so excited to interview you again once we hit that, 25, 30 grand a month. and
Mm-hmm.
like we'll talk about like the whole reverse engineering thing, like how it went and things like that.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate your time. This was amazing. We really like covered all the topics in depth. So in that way, like, people will have an idea, like, what exactly you did to go from where you were and where you are right now. Okay. I really appreciate that.
No
So
problem
thank
at
you.
all. Whenever you guys want to, talk to
Let's
me, I'm
go.
here.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go. It's time to get back to those leads now.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, boss. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Harshal.
you.
And you guys enjoy your evening, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.